Hello, everyone. It is Sunday. That means it's time for the stream. Welcome. So, I did go through and save a whole bunch of the best customs contest stuff as much as I could find and see for the majority of things into different saved lists, I guess, on Facebook and Instagram. So, we'll be able to take a peek through some of that stuff today, which is cool. There's some really neat stuff. So that's kind of fun to see all of the things that people are up to. There is, oh, why did that save separately? Oh, okay, cool. I love when stuff works. Technology. But at least my camera's back, so there's that. I have been busy working on orders and getting some stuff out. I also had to switch all my mailing list stuff over from MailChimp to MooSend. I kind of gave you guys a heads up for that. I should be able to send the first email out from there sometime today with some extra little minis and so it'll be the little biters, bitty biter, some scuttles that I have left, some Nokis and some ruffles. So if you've been waiting for your opportunity for those, there's a little bit of a discount on them as well, which is kind of fun. So I will have that email hopefully out today for everybody. And it's been interesting trying to import stuff because they obviously don't make it easy for you to transfer mailing lists because they don't want you to. But $70 a month is not an affordable cost, at least right now, for me, for just an email list. I don't even understand how that's a thing because, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, it's moving over to MooSend, which is significantly cheaper. So if you're looking for a cheaper option and you have an email list, I don't get anything from them. I think they have a referral code, but I have no idea. Anyway, I'll see how it works for me and let you guys know, and then you can make your decision if you like it or not. But it's kind of ridiculous how much they charge for some of these things. So yeah, if you see it from a different provider, that is it. If you see it come through in your spam folder, make sure to add my contact as a thing. I'm trying to get it through a different method. So hopefully that works out well. Because I now have a studio email. So it is contact@chrysalisstudios.com. I'll still have the Gmail and I'll have it forwarding, but I've added a proper grown-up, I guess, studio email that I'm trying to get all linked up and working correctly. So bear with me while I do that. I did announce that there is going to be a for the club members at least, but there's going to be another art hangout on Wednesday. So this Wednesday, 7 to 9, I have it up here. It is going to be through Google Meet, I think. Is it called Google Meet? I think it's called Google Meet. The Google version of Zoom, basically. So that should be just a link that you click. You don't need to download any app or anything, which should make it a little bit easier. Most people have used Google in some way, shape, or form, so hopefully that makes it an easy thing. Not everybody's a Zoom person, so hopefully that makes it easy for everybody and simple and wonderful and magical. It'll be fun. We always have a good time for every single one of these art hangouts we've done. It has been fun, which is always nice. Some really cool conversation. Sasha talked about different kinds of armor last time, and we were chatting about hobby stuff in general. There's been some cool behind the scenes things, and it's just fun. So if you are a club member or want to hang out, you're more than welcome to join up and do the thing. So all the clubs are always open. This is the last week basically to sign up for the medallion club to get the June-July medallion that'll ship at the end of July. And for qualifying for the Juggy draw that I'll be doing for an entry for June, you only have another week and a day. So if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to. All right. So busy week, crazy week. Still a little bit of like crazy world. Well, crazy world. We're not even going to get into that. So, but like wildy hangover, all the rest of it. I have the sticker, which is a realistic sticker for the sticker club / upgraded medallion club for this month. So I will be showing that very soon. I know I was hoping to show it this week and it's not quite working out to do that. So we have Andrea, good morning. Kimberly, hello. Katie, good morning. Laura, hello. Michelle, hi, welcome. You did make it. Andrea, hoping to make it on Wednesday. Yay, that'll be fun. I don't know what I'll be working on, but it will be something out of one of the many things that I'm trying to cram into the last weeks before Briarfest stuff happens. Kim, hello. Thank you for popping by. So yeah, I'll have a couple of things to show over the next little bit. I have a medallion that I'll be showing you guys that'll be released straight away here. I have Zipponi, basically, in the final stages of prep cleanup. I think she turned out really, really cute. And the camera likes her better today, which is kind of nice. I got her nose working better. She's just so cute. My grandma would have been like over the freaking moon that not only she got a pony that was made in her honor, but that other people would like said pony would just have made her glow and beam. And she liked getting love and attention. She was very like Hollywoody, like, oh, love me. So it's kind of fitting and perfect. Lots and lots of hair, which is kind of fun. Hi, Lynn. How's it going? So Fell Shetland Cross is the breeds that I was inspired by for her. And there is a little bit of something that'll come with her that I will show off soon, but I can't show it off just yet. And she's got a little bit of a crooked smile because I've posted the reference photo. Well, not the reference photo, but one of the photos of my grandma that kind of inspired the feel of the piece as she was kind of posing for a photo, and she's got this like half smile and her head cocked, and so the lip on the pony is a little bit cocked to the side. So she's kind of doing the like smile out of the one side of her face kind of thing. That's just, yeah, it's really an interesting process to be doing something that's inspired by someone who meant so much to me in my life. So hopefully you guys like her and she will find homes with fun people. But she's at least a very, very cute, fun memorial piece for my grandma. She would have just been the happiest clam. I did tone down some of the muscling a little bit. It's kind of a back and forth as always. And she's got a lot of sass. And then her little cocked leg of posing. But maybe she'll kick because I kind of like that. My grandma was always stirring shit and full of shit in a good way, not in a bad way, but just a very unique kind of person. So this has been quite the journey. So I'll have proper photos of her once she's done her prepping stages, and we'll get her in molds, and then I will open her up for pre-sales. And yeah, it should be fun. And then the surprise that'll come with her, I will show very soon because I think she would have loved that too. It's very fitting for her. So, da-da-da. She is definitely not curio scale. She is traditional scale. So, where is a traditional scale pony? I have all the things, but none of the pony things. An Esprit. So, traditional scale for a Fell Shetland cross. And the fells are a little bit bigger, so she's a little bit on the smaller side for a fell, but you could still pass her off as small traditional if you wanted to go straight fell. She does have the feathering and all the hair to work with that, or if you want to switch it up to a different breed of pony, you're more than welcome to, obviously, but very, very cute. Many, many hairs, which is wonderful. Little tiny ooters. She still needs my stamp in her belly. I normally do that last, so. Oh, and then she's got her little footsies details. So she's very, very close. There's just some final little preppy things that need doing. Wow. Aw, you guys are all excited. I'm excited. That makes me happy. Let's see. Andrea, are you planning to release for Briarfest? It might line up with Briarfest. That's kind of where I'm aiming. I know a lot of people are going in person, but there's also a lot of people that do stuff online. So I'm planning on doing a little bit of a thing for Briarfest and then probably a fall sale. So we'll see what ends up being completed and ready to go by then. So all the things. And I will definitely make sure to give you guys as much notice as possible for what that's going to look like. And it won't be a super limited thing where it'll be, there's only 50. I will probably do her as an open edition as long as she behaves for the molding process. So that'll make it a little bit easier for people that are gone. There will be some perks for people that are ordering Briarfest weekend if it all lines up. So there is that. And then, of course, if you're in the clubs, you get early access. And then if you're in the Medallion Club, you get a discount. So, yay! She's so fun. And the surprise is going to make you guys so happy. It made me so happy inside. I'm like, there's something that needs happening here. So, yeah. Anyway, and lots of color choices, which is always fun. And it's going to be such a joy to paint all that wild hair. Speaking of wild hair, I'm still working on prepping this beastie, so he will not be available anytime right away. I had to go back in and film more stuff. Yeah, yay. But he's closer. That's why you haven't seen the double dilute cream smoky pearl ridiculousness that is happening very soon, but not quite yet. So yeah, there's that. One more thing I can show you guys that'll be released in time for Briarfest. 99% sure because it's basically ready. Is the little Yvonne head. So this is a actual smiling doll face for all your performance classes where your rider should be technically smiling and enjoying herself. It fits on the Yvonne doll. Now I'm probably going to do a sculpted on hair version and then a not sculpted on hair version. So if people wanted to do some sort of hairing themselves, they can, but makes her smiling so that she's riding in her pleasure classes and she's actually happy, which is kind of nice. So there is that kind of cool thing for performance people. This is the Yvonne doll body. I don't know where all the staining came from, probably her last clothes she was wearing. And I can't find her other head. Her other head disappeared itself. So there is that. But once you put hair on her, she's going to be very, very cool. I might do a short-haired version. I'm going to keep it fairly low profile so that you can put helmets and hats on her. And then that will give people some options. And I'll post better pictures because obviously my camera's like, what are you talking about? But nice to have a doll that's actually smiling, which will mean that it's a little bit easier on our doll makers and performance people. And it might give you a leg up in your class if you're against someone whose doll is not smiling and everything else is equal. As a judge, generally, you're supposed to be smiling. So there's that. Yay, doll that's happy to be at a show. I know. It just, it has bugged me for years that when people have dolls, the dolls are like, resting bee face on the thing. So this should hopefully give people an option at least. I had a lot of fun and it was kind of cool to sculpt a person instead of just a pony. So very cute, kind of a younger woman's face. So she's got teeth, so you can paint teeth and that's kind of fun. Her eyes are there, small. That's going to be challenging to paint, but they're challenging to paint anyways. Would love to see it in gray. The pony or the resin casting? There's gray on the back of her head from epoxy. So because I'm going to be doing these in resin, I'm still working on 100% the mechanism to make sure that we can have this fit on here. I have a couple of ideas for how to stabilize the head on the neck with some silicone rubber. And that'll mean that the head can go on and it won't just flop around. You could always technically use sticky wax, I guess, but I would like something that's a little bit better of a mechanism. So yeah, that is cool. Hi Brenda, how's it going? Caitlin, hello. The doll head in gray? Why in gray specifically? Like I could tint resin gray potentially, but you could always paint it gray from the white. Or is it just easier to see the details? I'm confused. Hard to see details. Well, I'll get better photos of it, so you'll be able to see it a little bit better. This camera doesn't do stuff the best. So if I can get pictures and then post them, that works a little bit better. So I will post those as soon as I can. And Teresa's saying, want to throw this out there, gonna change the Ravers page cover here. Picture soon and need the newest medallion painted. So if you want to be on the cover of the Ravers page, get your medallion painted, send it to Teresa, or just post it in the Ravers and she will put a herd of the unicorns. I don't think any of them have been painted yet, so there is that. Andrew's saying, whatever happened to the large Pegasus medallion? It is hanging out in a different stage of being complete. We shall see if it will be finished. There will be at least one medallion available for the Breyerfest sale, though, so that'll be kind of cool. All right. So you saw Pony, you saw the head of the doll, which is exciting. And I showed you things and stuff. Told you about a medallion coming. I told you about a secret coming with the pony. I told you about the sticker that's coming. So if you missed that part, the sticker for this month is realistic. I will be posting it shortly to give people a little bit of an opportunity to join the club. And then there is a new anniversary medallion coming that will ship with the next Medallion Club box for anybody whose anniversary rolled over into this particular space. So let me see here. It's always fun trying to remember all the things that are going on and all of the secret things that I can't tell you. So it's like filtering them in my brain while I'm trying to speak. It's a challenge. I'm juggling the things. Oh, I told you about the art hangout that's coming. So that will be Wednesday for club members through Google, and I will send that link out and everything. New email platform. I've had to change basically all of my digital systems. So there's I'm using Pirate Ship for mailing packages now. So if you see something coming different, that's why. I've had to redo my entire website. I had to change my email newsletter provider. It's just been wild. And it's fun because I go in and I do the thing and it's like the universe is like, no, that's not good enough. Switch all the things up. Shipping, we have still no agreed upon deal at the last look that I saw of Canada Post. So they might strike. They're not sure. They might go bankrupt before they strike. So we might not get mail at all up here. And then I guess DHL is striking or not, well, they're in their own turmoil, but they're refusing to service Canada, period, because of the strikes. It's just, my goodness. Let me see if I can put this up on the screen. All right, so design. I'm just going to show you this in the browser because that is, and the surveys are going out. I was just waiting for everything to convert over to the new systems. I'll give you a preview of that here. So this is kind of what the new newsletters are going to look like. I know, I made them pretty. There's a button for the website, and then if you're a club member, it shows you the member page. If it's a normal email, it'll just say Chrysalis Studios newsletter with the website and then the club information if you're interested. So this is the survey that people get to do that will determine the People's Choice medallion and sticker for this year, which is exciting. I always love seeing what people want because it changes all the time and it's kind of a custom blend of everybody's answers. and the majority's voice rules as to what you guys see as a combination of all the stuff. Is it realistic? Is it fantasy? Do you want to see a head? Do you want to see a full body? Do you want to see multiple horses? Do you want to see backgrounds? No backgrounds? What breed type do you want to see? And you have that ability to influence me, which also will influence potentially future work, which is also kind of cool. If I'm seeing there's a massive demand and want and need in the hobby for something specific, and you tell me, then I might just fulfill your wishes and your dreams. So there's that. I always love doing that. Makes people happy, makes me happy. Let me see. Backing out of that one. Going back here. Into campaigns. Here we go. Pardon my clicking around and doing the thing. But this is actually going to be a little bit better of an email service. It has different options for what I would be using normally, but it gives me the ability to use code in the background a little bit more efficiently than, say, MailChimp did. So this will be the email that's going out to everybody with the extras. So Crystal Studios newsletter, little juggy. You can see the website or go see clubs. It gives you a cute little gift that I could not have, and then a little bit of a discount on all the ponies, but that's what you're going to see. You can click your buttons or your photos to go to the PayPal page. That will allow you to check out if you would like. If you need time payments, you're welcome to do that. There's more information in the email here as to what that looks like, and I can invoice you separately if you would like. Club members already got their early access, so some of them are gone, but there's still a couple of each of these left available. So if you've been waiting for one, you're more than welcome to do that. And international and Canadian orders, there's additional costs, so additional shipping for international orders and GST for Canadians. So if you have your location in one of those places or any place other than the US, I guess, then you can either buy whatever you want and I'll invoice you the difference later, or you can do the email me thing, and there's a button for that at the bottom, and it will send me the thing and I will send you the invoice and all good. Goodness gracious. La 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 la. Katie, paint yours. Paint the unicorn. Do it. Hi, Annie. How's it going? Hopefully your pony arrived safely. Let me know. How's Nash doing with his buttons? So I went to see Brenda. I should show you these drafters, actually. I got a couple of ponies we traded and did some horse trading. And she gave me a button for Nash for using for outside. And the first day he was all excited to use it. He kept poking it because it was new, and he like went right to mushing it with his nose and making it say the thing. So it's an outside button because he's very good at asking for food and other stuff, but not so much for the outside. And he will hold it for forever before he goes outside. So good the first day and good the second day, starting to figure out that that might mean something. And now he's just like, I don't know about it. So we're in this like buffer of he's not sure. He doesn't quite understand that he can hit the button and ask to go outside, but he gets excited when the button says outside and it being by the back door. So we're working on it. I need to do some more research on different methods as to how to train for that, because I kind of just wung it a little bit. But it's kind of cool because you see those dogs that hit the buttons or the cats that hit the buttons and they can communicate. I think he would be very into that. And so this is dipping my baby toe in the water. So it's very fun. And then he didn't want to go out at all because it's been raining. And apparently he will not go outside in the rain at all. He would rather hold his pee for days than go out in the rain. Not that we let him hold his pee for days, but I've never had a dog that didn't. He's special. But anyways, so yeah, that's how that's going. Thank you. I like that Caitlin saying she likes how flashy the newsletter is. I wanted it to be fun and be a little bit more presentable, and it lets me do that a little bit more with Moose End, which is nice because I can play with some stuff in the background a little bit easier. So yeah, that'll be coming out today. I think everything loaded in there. If nothing goes crazy weird, I've been trying to make sure that it works out. You guys might have, I told you about this before, but I had with MailChimp an issue where I tried to archive some old expired and unsubscribed people, and it ended up resubbing those people to the list. So if you're a person that doesn't want to be on the mailing list, that's totally fine. There's an unsubscribe button at the bottom. I tried to remove everybody that I could, but it's hard to tell at this point who was and wasn't. So I imported things over from MailChimp, and it might still be a little bit messy. Feel free to unsubscribe. If you don't want to be there, I don't want to bug you. I don't send emails super often, so there's also that. And it is the best way to avoid algorithm blah. But I know email inboxes get crazy because mine does too. So there is that. If you don't want to be on the email list, totally fine. If you do, great. You can update settings and stuff at the bottom, I guess. And then you can always just follow on social media, which means it'll pop up more frequently than the algorithm would otherwise give you, because algorithms are dinks. So there's that. All right. I have other stuff coming. We will see, like I said, what will finish in time. But we have some really cool Best Customs contest stuff to look through. And then I will go further into stuff. So this is the Best Customs list that I've saved on Instagram. So we'll go through that one first. So Laura Skillern did a really cool Bev Doolittle inspired custom. This is from the Tennessee Walking Horse mold, I believe, and meant to be like a Bev Doolittle painting. Her stuff was super inspiring to me when I was younger. It's just so cool to see how the horses blend in. There was stuff hidden in the patterns of the horses, like ravens or Native American faces or feathers, things like that. It's just so cool. So this is very much in the spirit of, and that photo in particular, just love it. So congratulations, Laura, on a very cool entry, and best of luck. That's what it started out as. It is funny what people get away with for using pieces. It's like, well, I used the body of like the sides, cut out windows of a briar to form my original sculpture. But technically, most drastic people, even if you're putting the whole horse within it, you were still technically using epoxy over top and covering all the details anyways, or drumming the faces off. So yeah, see, we cross weird lines as hobby people. There's the face. There's it leaping without all the trees in place there, which is kind of cool. I think the rest of the thing is just a picture. The rest of the trees, yeah, there. It's just a photo in the background. So there's really only this many trees in it, hence the thing. She might be pushing the boundaries with those tree branches sticking out the sides. Anyway, then we have Best Customs Contest entry from Mitten Lake Studio. So that is very cool. It is a Valegro in a very nice buckskin looking Tobiano. Very, very cool. With lovely, lovely, soft, feathery white details. See, this is so much easier than trying to find them in the wild. Thank you guys for your patience, because this is crazy. So best of luck. This is the really cool Studio Mare or Star Mare Studios Best Customs Contest entry. This is the video, so I have the proper photos saved in a later spot. There's lightning effects, eyes light up, there's sound. Thunder effects. And the clear acrylic with the rain, and then the lightning, which is super cool, and everything blowing, and then the little micro minis running, which is the coolest thing. So very, very fun. It's quite a unique, and it's neat that people are using all the effects and stuff. I did try and find the diorama and other entries that I could. I know I'm missing a whole bunch. There's tack makers that I don't have in here. There's a whole bunch of things that are missed. So I'm trying to collect them. If you know of ones that I've missed, send me a message with them or tag me in them, and I'll add them to the folders. We can try and cover them. Mariah Vogue did a Fireheart as a portrait of Thor. So Thor is a famous Mustang in the States. Um, most people would be able to recognize him really well. He's got some really cool shading in all of his whites. That's really cool to see. He's very dusty looking, which makes him look very wild. It's an honor to have someone use my pieces for anything, let alone the best customs contest entries. That's very fun. He's got dirty feet, he's got dirty hair, he's got a really cool eyeball, really nice markings. The tones in this are lovely. So he's very fun. Good luck to Moriah. What else we got here? There is a Shamington. So this is Kayla Lovejoy Equine Art on Instagram. This is the sham before. This is the sham in the middle. Primer. So this is the glow up category, which is very cool. So he got a new face, he got new hair, he got some tweaks, and he has new color. It's kind of cool to see the process. So there's the finished piece in a nice bay. So best of luck to her. He's very fun. I love sham. I love the feel. We talked about this one last week, but I love the feel of that mold. It's like the art nouveau-y, just loveliness that comes from that particular sculpture. Here's a fun little diorama piece. This is Grace Bisnath. It appears to be a, I'll make sure, like an Avatar inspired feeling piece. So very, very cool. I like these molds too. And there's little like dragonflies hidden in there. Oops. They have cool stripes. The lovely blue. Lots of little butterflies. Look at all the little butterflies. And they're haired, which is also a trick for stablemate scale. Oops. Bam. I like the little waterfall too. There's just butterflies everywhere. It's such a magical little scene. So that's cool. Let's see. Andrea says my pup doesn't like going in the rain either. Yeah, we have to walk with him to the grass where he pees. If we do not take him all the way outside, he will not go. So yeah, that's the thing. Katie says Maggie does the same thing. Hates going out in the rain. Goodness gracious. Teresa, my 2 criminals don't care what the weather's doing. There are squirrels outside. That's how my dogs have always been. It's just like, okay, I'm going outside. They generally were healers, and healers don't care, but that's the thing. Tibby Searcher's Man of War glow up is really cool. I believe I have that one. Brenda says, when Obi and Luna were learning, I would hit the button and then let them out and gradually ask them to hit the button for letting them out. Yeah, that's kind of how we're working. I've been trying to ask him to hit the button, and then whenever we go outside, I hit the button and then open the door, so he knows that the button means door. So we'll see if it works out. Carly, I think I have her entry. I will look. And he says, Sham has always been one of my favorites. He's just got such a cool feel, like a very artistic, kind of cool Art Nouveau-y feel. So what else do we got here? This is a Legionero glow up, and this one's by EPS Collects on Instagram. I'm so bad with remembering everybody's names and then studio names, so I apologize, but you can find them. Cut down to basically nothing, which is awesome, and then drawn on all the different lines to see where muscles should go, which is how I like to do it as well. And then the first stage is getting the pony ready, inspection by the kitten, because inspection and tasting is required. A head and a body. It's very cool to see him get a glow up. A little bit more refined, which is nice. Love the hair. Sanding, painting. I don't know what the beach is for. Photos with the weights. You need the weights to hold the photos up, or the background. Very, very cool. So best of luck. That is a very cool entry. We have a first ever best custom contest by Horses by Valerie. This is a roan on the Harley mold. Portrait of my hard horse Skipper. Goals to capture his likeness and accuracy, painted using many, many layers of oil paint. That is very cool. So good luck to her for this. Very, very cute. I love the depth and the shading. It's really hard sometimes to get the shading in there with the roan because you're trying to work against the white roaning of the horse. So it's cool. There's the real horse, all the ribbons and things he's won along the way. So cool. And it's extra special when it's your horse that you've created, just like the piece for my grandma is extra special to me. You can see the test horse and then the painting process. And roan in oils is its own very interesting, very challenging thing. Like there's even, you can see, oops, the herring in the legs. Ah, goodness gracious. The herring in the legs there. Right here, you can see how there's little detail in there, which is very cool. So best of luck. That is very, very cool. Great entry, especially for your first entry. And it's always exciting and nerve-wracking to be in it for your first time. Then there was the Spirit Glow Up by Strum and Steel Studio. This one's really neat. I have a soft spot for the Spirit mold, and it's kind of cool to see him more realistic. So that is a neat, pardon my moving everything around, to see kind of the cartooniness removed and more realism put in there. He's got some scars on him, bit of a textured coat, lots of texture in the hair, which is really cool. Added feathering to the legs, a redone little spirit stamp, which is very neat. And then a sweet, sweet face. Look at that face. Very cool. So that's really neat to see, especially because it is a more cartoony mold. It's neat to see the older molds get redone and as a glow up. It's kind of a fun idea, but seeing a cartoony mold taken and made more realistic is also very cool. Very, very neat. And then on to Best Customs Contest folder on Facebook. So this one's a really cute diorama. It is done by Nellie Jean Lucas. It is a Hestery, which is honoring one of Breyer's very best, which is Chris Hess. So there's the Bucking Bronc Classic. There is a couple of the animals here. We have Old Timer, there's Secretariat, and then the Paddock Pal Saddlebred, just to pick a few. Very, very cool. And there's photos on the wall. So they have the cover of the one, which is this? Is it just an artist magazine? One of the ads from one of the Breyer magazines with Chris Hess in it. I'm assuming that all of these photos are Chris Hess, which is very cool. It's neat to see an older kind of foundational Breyer artist get some recognition. I don't know that they do as much as they should, so yay! I love the Bronc. I want to take the Bronc home. I have a soft spot for the little Bronc too. The Old Timer's adorable. Then your Buffalo and your, I don't know the name of it. Rin Tin Tin? There we go, Rin Tin Tin. You can see the progress of all of the different little guys in microform being made into adorableness. The little topiaries, which are super cute. So that's very, very fun. We have that one. We went over Darren's last time. So lionfish inspired, very flamboyantly wonderful. A very nice unofficial entry because it can't be official if you're in Canada or any of the states that they won't let you play in. This is her page. Oh, the other one's her page for making of Kai. So if you go to her website, you can see the process of making it. This is the Man of War that we were talking about by Tibby. Redone face, redone leg, some adjustments. Very cool. He had a halter made for him. She basically redid the whole thing, working off of the Man of War reference photo there. Adjusting the neck, because that happens. I've had to do that last minute too. Very, very cool. There he is in paint with his halter on. There he is finished, or almost finished. There he is finished. just such a regal look. And Manowar is a very regal looking horse. So that's very cool to see him go from that to that. Very nice work. Good luck, TB. This is a glow up of Cindy Evans Yatested of the Clack Horse pony. Progressing from Clock Horsey to ripped apart, resculpted. It's cool to see the transition this way when they're all kind of lined up. Adding the detail and the hair and the primer and the first coat and the second coat. So to see that change is really neat. You can see the change in the head. Oops. Removal of the bridle. He's got a kind of gorpy head, but really, he wasn't weird, crazy, hyper fixated on hyper realism these days. So there is that. So very, very cool glow up for him. Good luck, Cindy. That is very, very fun. This is Bree's entry, Bree Cundiff. A buckskin. Everybody's doing buckskin. Buckskin Toby. Everybody's doing buckskin. Dapple buckskin Sooty Tobiano. So there's Totless in a dapple buckskin Sooty dapple buckskin Tobiano. Very, very pretty. Some nice subtle shading in the whites. Lovely dapples. Beautiful work in the braids. Lovely work on the markings. The pinking in the whites is really cool. Her hooves are always nice. Look at his little face. Look at that face. So cute. The detail in even the flat part of the braid there. That's really cool. Just lovely. The little feetsies. Best of luck to Brie as well. Here is the non-video, so you can kind of see more of the details from the studio or Starmare Studios entry. The Thunder Ponies, which is very cool. There's a silver up there. I can't remember what the other molds that were used were, but wonderful. Love that it lights up. Very unique, very, very much presence to this entry. So I love it. Let's see if this shows the progress photos. There's been so many posts along the way of different. No, it does not show the progress. I do not know which modes they were. We did this one already, Mariah's. This one is the Briar's official group entries. This is an unofficial entry from Silver Gree for Briarfest Best Custom. So there's the Dundee from 2024 as a Namo Pimo horse, I believe. And then working up the gumption to enter the contest takes a little bit of time. It's a big step for artists because there's a lot of nerves, there's a lot of self-pressure and, self-meanness that we go through, trying to feel like we're good enough to enter things like that. This was the Manowar. There he is together with the original mold. And there's nothing wrong with entering, and if they don't choose you, they don't choose you. But that's also hard on the spirit. So there's that. I totally get it. Let's see if this is. So this is the Briar page on Facebook. So there's this entry, Cameron Oswald, muddy, raining on, wet beastie of a original saddlebred. That's a very cool entry. So best of luck, Cameron. Then we have Michaela Herrera. It is a very cool Spanish sliding stomp. Mexican equestrian sport, traditional Mexican equestrian. Wow. Equestrian sport. Escuramurza, meaning skirmish in Spanish. Born in the 1950s, women carved their place. Yeah, so a precise sliding stop in full garb, side saddle, which is a feet and a half. That's pretty cool. And then that was Bree's entry. This thing's really fun. So Carolyn Moore, most extreme custom entry It was originally a Man of War Princess Nea, because she's out of this world. She's got a little buddy Trigger. It's a unicorn. She loves doing horse camps with all the kiddos that dye her hair and paint her hooves, all that good stuff. Sitting on a little beanbag, which is adorable. I really Latigo. Sorry, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. Harley Latigo. The spirit is lovely. Katie, honestly, the glow up is 10 times better than the original. I did the Starlight Dancer, the one with the realistic approach. I love the play on realism on the cartoon characters. Yeah, it's very fun. Teresa, love Big Red. Oh my Lanta. One of my favorites this year. Everybody's entries are amazing. Wouldn't be able to choose first place. It would be very hard to be doing the contest. This is so cute. Look at the little teethers. It's like, there's a kitten. And got it looking very much like almost Briar plastic there, which is kind of a cool feel. This is Paige Palin, a really nice harness entry on the Cleveland Bay. This is Mindy Young with a Bobby Joe, done in a very cool Rabicano color. That eye is lovely. Look at that eye. All the little herring work. There is the Clock Horse. So the Clock Horse entry did have, that was Cindy Evans Yates, did have their saddle repainted for it, and then a redone bridle and breast collar, which is a very cool addition because it's the Clock Horse. He has Jack. That's the Legendario. That's a little Zug done by Brianna Rantala in a lovely Dapple Bay, dark Dapple Bay. Tiny, tiny, tiny little dapples. Those are wonderful. So nice shading in the mane and tail. Cute little tiny eyeball. It's got a very soft muzzle. Lovely hooves. There's the Sham. So Sham by Kayla Lovejoy. We covered him, but that's him with the original. So very cool. This is Victoria Ehrlich's entry. It is a World War II Coast Guard beach patrol called the Sand Pounders. This is a very neat entry. I think that was a Wyatt was the original mold. Not sure if it had a different head, but a very cool kind of tribute to war heroes and veterans. And cool diorama with the beach entry or the beach water on the bottom. That would have been fun to make. There he is with his body. Because I think you had to pick a primary entry, so it would have been one or the other. And that's a really neat custom too. Very fun. This one is Laurel Seuss. This is a really cool barrel racer inspired tack set with all the bling, because you need the bling as a barrel racer. With the nice blue little crystals, rainbow crystals in the bridle, which is really fun. Very neat. There's crystals on the saddle you can see. Lovely. Good luck. This one's Devin Frenzy, Leopard Appaloosa on the Latigo mold, in like a cool bay leopard. So cool. That tail is so fun. All the spots. We need all the spots. That's a lot of work to do all that spots. And then all those spots, all that spots. I can't English today at all. We haven't had food or much coffee. All of the spots all have the mapping around them, which is very cool. And then the modeling on the face is cute. Such a cute mold. I love his giant butt. Makes me happy inside. Cute little stripy feet. Look at the modeling on his face. So cute. I just want to like pet him right here on his little soft nose. Little feet. This one is Joanna Brichel Chronister. Goodness gracious, I'm going to mess up these names royally. Should just be here for the entertainment of me saying names. Horribly, horribly wrong. Best Customs Contest entry for finish work. We have lovely modeling on the face. Kind of a semi-leopardy blanket mix. Some nice hair by hair work in the flank there. Very cool. exciting entries. This one's finished work as well. Mallory Camp. Congratulations. It is a very cool dapple gray on the new Bandolero mold. You know your brain's just tripping over itself when I can't even form words. Very cool. So he was the newer premier horse. Very cool to see him in a dapple gray. He has lovely little details on his hooves. I love the transition into the tail with all the you get that color shift. It's usually not pure white, especially in a tail or a mane. It's hard to keep those clean, so sometimes they get the tint to them, which is kind of gives it a realistic feel. Lovely little soft, subtle dapples in there. There's his other side. His little socky sock. So cute. Look at his little eyeball. He's just got such a soft face. This one's Kayla Blaine. This is Most Extreme. She added the diorama in. We covered this a little bit last week. Very cool. I can't remember what the original mold was. So he's very fun. I love his hair being everywhere in the like jaunty pose. Like, I'm running around. There we go, Cleveland Bay. And that's a big change to get from there to there. And it made him a little bit bigger, which is kind of cool too. So he's neat. Very, very fun. It's cool to see newer names popping up for entering the contests. I think there's the room for fresh blood now, which is always exciting. I'm excited to see how everybody does. So we have these guys. He's got some shading in his face, really fun work in the muzzle. So much expression to it, which is very cool. So there's the measurement entry. Look at the wild hair. Love wild hair. Dapples. It's got lots of detailing in the face and the eye, little eyelashes, crinkles in his nose. This one's really neat. I hadn't seen this one. So this is Eva Matthews. It is a 1830 coronation horse set, still used by the British family on royal occasions, special occasions. Every occasion for the royal family is a royal occasion. That is super cool. So those are all the Cancion mold. Can't remember what this color one is called because my brain doesn't work no more. But in honor of Queen Elizabeth, which is very neat, you can see them all done up with their, looks like roses in their hair. That's a lot of bling on their tack sets. And neat to see them hooked up to just the post there for demonstration. That's really cool. And then in its presentation box, so fancy. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. That'll be very cool. Congratulations and good luck. That's a very neat entry. It's cool to see the tack makers getting their chance to shine too. It comes with all the documentation on little plaques. There's a closer up picture. So can't tell if those are roses. And then all the little trappings, everything there would have had to have been handmade, I imagine, because you wouldn't be able to find all of those little pieces direct from something like Rio Rondo, I would imagine. I might be mistaken, but that's a lot of work. Then this is Stephanie Blaylock's entry on the classic Mustang mold by Maggie in a lovely Roni Mustang branded Bayron. Very, very nice. He is very cool. Might be chestnut. Might be liver chestnut. Black legs. But yeah, very cool. As always, Steph does great, lovely work. He's a very sweet, sweet eyeball. I love the brand. That's a cool added touch. Little base makes him happy. There are some of the reference photos and the reference horse that she used, it looks like. You can see all his little tiny details. His little blue eye on the other side. Looks like one of the wildies out here. I like down the backbone. That's my favorite shot of a roan, is right down their tail. And it's neat to see the little patch of roan on his hawk. That we did. So it doesn't show before and after. Those are just 3 different lighting options. Madison Poulin did a Jorg with all of his little cat tracks, a nice sweet blue eye, some really lovely detailing in the mane to bring everything out. I love the modeling in the face. The marking right here is just lovely. And then we got nice work in the tail and the feathers and the feet. Very, very nice. This one's a glow up from Kristen Ardent. It is on the Hess Hanoverian Art Deco mold, and Art Deco actually as the piece that she's recreating, which is very cool. That's a really, really famous horse. One of my friends has a baby from distant, well, not super distant, but he's from his lines, which is very cool. It's neat to see him get redone. Face is a little bit cleaner. The older molds have a lot of texture to them. That is a thing. Oh, a company in the UK made the brasses. That's cool. Laura Rocksmith sent me one in Messenger. I will check that. Wow! I clicked out of it. Darn it. Where did we go? So this one is very cool. Lots of reworking to get him looking nice. That would have been a lot of sanding to fix the surface. Not a ton changed. The face was obviously changed, hair redone. But all the original pose was left fairly intact, and then adding them on a base instead of Breyer's unbased version because they were trying to have horses that were in cool poses but couldn't do bases. So there is that. And then we have this one, which we showed last time. So Celsi Ray Abel did the really cool unicorn leaping off the cliff, protecting her baby from the dragon. So, because dragon. Which doesn't have any further pictures there. Let me do that. Oh, and then this one. I don't know how this one's not in my thing. So that was, it's a Carly Codless. I hope I said your last name right. Entry of the most extreme. So Shire, beautiful, beautiful lattice braided. Look at the feathers on that thing. That's so cool. From a Pam. That is a really cool change. With a floating back foot. And I just love how the feathers are just giving her. So I love hair. I have a problem. So yeah, I'll have to add that one to my list. If there's any I was missing, let me know. But that is kind of the gist of what we got for now that I've been able to accumulate and save. They do have the official group on. Oh my goodness. They do have the official entries. Some of them loaded in that folder on the Breyerfest group. That is here. So on Facebook, Breyerfest official group. Wow, what the heck? There's almost 9,000 members in there. Thanks, Laura, for sending me that. And they have in the media, if you go to albums, there's their best customs contest entries there. You can see 2024. Not everybody will have entered their stuff in there. Some people will be submitting just by email. Some people will put stuff on Instagram. They're not on Facebook. Some people, it's all over the place. So they'll have some of the stuff on there. Like I showed you, they don't have everything, but most of it's there. Danielle Fieldman did a unofficial entry. Goodness gracious. Let me see if I can find stuff. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that there are some states that cannot participate, because that kind of throws the kinks into things. Oh, Danielle Fieldman. Oops, doing things. I can't see her profile or Carly's on Facebook. They might have me off of there. But anyway, can't show you if I can't see it. So there's that. All right. I guess on that note, that is pretty much all the studio stuff and all of the Briarfesty updatey stuff. Fantasy finish work would be very cool, Andrea. That would be really nice. And Annie, it would be the state individual laws for contests and giveaways and things like that. I'm assuming that would have an impact on which states can host or be participating. I think it's online contests, something like that. Gambling laws, all that good stuff. Yeah, Jess. So there's that. So yeah, there's that. My brain is toast and I require food. Trying to think of what else there was. I think that's all of the stuff. As for hyperfixations, there's been trying to figure out this darn email thing because it changes everything, and then trying to fill out a couple spaces in my garden by going on Marketplace and finding people that are selling their or giving away their extra perennials that they're splitting. So I found a couple more irises. I have the little cherry tree that's outside. The bunnies decided that they were going to eat it, so I had to put up the little bunny fence and trying to figure out how things are going to fill out. The peonies have all pretty much bloomed. The raspberries are starting to come in, which is exciting. I thought my grape died, but it lived, so that's fun. I was about ready to dig it up and give up on it, and then it was like boop, 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 all the different little leaves. It struggles, and I've got to learn how to prune the cedar that's beside the house. So cedars historically don't do super well here. They struggle, and we have an established one that came with the house. It is very close to the foundation though, so we're trying to keep an eye on it. I'm going to try to cut it down. It was a lot smaller, and then I put in a bed with asparagus and raspberries, and it seems to be feeding off of whatever's leaching through that bed, because now it is twice the size in height and another twice the size, if not 3 times the size in width. So I need to trim it down, and that's its own thing. Learning how to prune and care for each individual plant is its own adventure. So there's that. What else? The currant bushes have currants. One of them does. It's a red currant. And then the peonies were like a white, and then there was a pink, and then I was smart enough to do it mirrored, so they're white on the outside and then pink in the middle, and they're all doubles. I don't like the individual ones as much as I like the doubles. So there's lots of pretty flowers outside, and we just got 100, it was like 60 or 70 millimeters of rain, all kind of at once in one day. So everything was super wet and happy. I finally put some garlic that I hadn't put out in the garden, so it'll be late, it won't be big, but it'll at least keep my established garlic growing so that I have something to plant next year, because the garlic beds used to be in the back, and Nash ruined that idea for this year because he likes to dig in the beds that were the nice dirt for the garlic. So yeah, fun times. So just managing all that and trying to keep everything happy. And I still got to go out and see the pony. It's been a little bit. He will hopefully get a visit tomorrow morning. So yeah, there's that. It's been a while. It's been sad. And it's been rainy and gross. So there's also that. It's supposed to be rainy and gross for the next, I don't know, week. I don't know how it is where you are. I know there's some big storms rolling through the States, but basically every day or every night we're supposed to be getting thunderstorms for the next while, which we need. We need the water so we're not on fire. That is always good to not be on fire, but it's also nice to have sunshine. We're so sunshiny here normally that having a lot of rain messes with your brain cells. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. I will hopefully have some more good stuff for you guys next week. We're getting right into the lead up to Briarfest. It's not that far away, so there's lots to do. I will see what I can squeak through by the deadline, and then we'll see what's available for what I offer as a sale. And I'll try and have some fun activities and stuff while we do Briarfest. And then there's the Juggernaut giveaway at the end of July. So again, if you wanted to enter that, you need to be in the club to get an entry for June before the end of June, and then for an entry for July anytime in July. So yeah, Fun times. Alrighty. I love you guys. I will see you later. Don't feed the trolls. I will keep saying it because it is still relevant. Focusing on being what you want to be in the hobby. If you don't see people out there supporting the people that are doing the best customs contest or supporting the littles, go do that. Just don't be a dink. Don't feed the trolls. Don't be a dink. Go spread awesome, because I know you guys are awesome. The more you spread it, the more it will procreate and be more awesome, and then they'll just be more awesome, and then the trolls won't have any place to do trolly things. So it'd be great. I see a vision. I hope you see a vision. All right. Love you guys. See you next time.